Are you filming?
Yeah, I gotta say where I'm at. So as you can see, I'm here at Greg's, working on the van. I'm currently trying to pull the bathroom, shower, my wet bath out. That's what it looks like. Because after like 2 years now, I'm finally getting rid of this dent that's in the side of the van, which is crazy to think it's been that long. But this guy, oh yeah, the ladder's gone too, has gotta go. And they said it's gonna take probably about a week and a half, which is the longest I've been without living in the van in the past 2.5 years, which is crazy to think about. You know, with COVID, I've spent more time in here than I ever imagined I would. And for the most part, it's been fine. I've stayed busy with editing and all of the little projects that I've got going on. But there comes a point where you get a little stir crazy, especially in the winter like it is right now, where you need to like get out and get some space and a little fresh air and a little change of pace. So while I'm focusing on renovating the van and making this a future video, I thought I'd share this little trip I took where I tried musky fishing for the first time. And I know it's another fishing video, like I had just recently released a fly fishing video, but it was one of these things that I'd never done before and I had gotten the offer to go try it, and so I took them up on it. Look at this. I'm Ben, and this is DogCatManVan. So it's winter, and I've been cooped up in this van for way too long, sitting and editing. And I've been wanting to go on a little trip, but none of my friends want to go do anything. So I guess I'm just gonna go fishing with somebody I've never met before. And we've got to get up early, so I'm gonna head out now, and we're gonna camp out somewhere that I've never been. Ready to go, Arch? Off. All right, now, headed to Illinois, we're gonna do some musky fishing. I've never musky fished before. This is a first for me. Archer, come on. Archer's being a shithead. So yeah, I'm going fishing. I'm gonna go drive now. So I decided to leave that night because I had a 3-hour drive to get to the spot where I planned on parking for the night to meet Mike in the morning. Okay, so we made it into Illinois. We got about an hour left. Now, Mike is somebody I met through my dad. They worked together. My dad told him about the channel. He started watching, and he eventually ended up buying the mini bike I took on the second season of Krusty Crusaders. So we got to talking, and he offered to take me musky fishing because that's what he does. And since I'd never gone before, I figured why not? And so I knew who I was going to go fishing with, but I'd actually never met Mike in person before. Anyway, eventually I had found my way to the spot where I was supposed to park, and I was told to look for the number 43. So we've made it to our location, and then the second I opened the door, Rocky took off toward the trailers and then quit listening to me. So I had to run off after him, and he knew I was mad, so he ran back. But he was being extra naughty. So I'm gonna feed these guys, and then I guess brush my teeth really quick because I don't have much water left, and get to bed. But it's always weird staying somewhere new where you're like, when you're not familiar with the area. Suck. Whoa! Okay, here he comes. Oh, big man. There's Chubby Boy. We gotta get up about 7. Because he's probably gonna get here around 7:30 and then be in the water by 8. This facial hair is not doing it. I just can't take myself seriously seeing myself in the camera with it. It's just so thin. All right, well, I guess you guys are gonna meet Mike when I meet Mike. Alright, Mike's here. I thought he was gonna text me or something and he didn't. I just heard a truck beside me, so I gotta get dressed. You up? I think you're gonna go with, but I don't know about you, Arch. Am I good parked where I'm at?
Hey, Ben.
How's it going?
Glad you made it.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was you who was out and stuff.
This time of the year, there's only a handful of people that do this.
Come out here, okay.
Further downstream, there's actually a really nice campground. Yeah, this river's amazing. It goes for 97 miles to the next lake.
It's a big John boat. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my stuff and we're gonna head out. Got a rip in my jacket.
This lake was dammed up in 1961, I believe. All the fish that are in the river have come out of this dam. They know they're gonna anticipate spring rains, so they'll draw the lake down really far, and usually it starts in December. So when they open those gates up, all the shad gets shot out, and it's like, again, that's just why we're here catching them, because it's like a frenzy.
So Mike gave me a decent sized glide bait with a bait caster that had some crazy strong braided Dacron line that I think was rated for like 100 pounds. Then he filled me in on everything musky.
Because the key to it is getting them in the net as quick as possible, just so you don't hurt the fish. Believe it or not, as muskie being a vicious predator, they're kind of wusses when it comes to like their survivability. We don't fish for them when the water temps are above 80 degrees, just because they build up lactic acid when you're fighting them, and then they can't retain enough oxygen to sink back down, so they just kind of keel over, just kind of die like that. You go to cast, you engage the reel. I usually always keep my rod tip down, short little pauses, and what that does is every time you let slack and pull it, let slack and pull it, they turn around side to side.
Oh, okay.
You get this close to the boat, you want to give it a couple of smaller pauses, and then kind of keep it going. This is like they call it a figure eight, but I usually just do a circle. You do that after every single cast.
Do they hit that?
Yes, they'll smoke it right here. Sometimes you can't even see them. They'll just come up, waylay it. So when you're doing that, you obviously want to make sure you have a good firm grip on the rod, because unfortunately, I have lost a couple of rods to the muskie.
So Mike handed the rod over to me and I practiced my cast. It was a little weird getting used to like doing the little figure eight thing at the end of the boat, especially when I felt there was no way a fish was gonna come up that close to the boat to get it. But Mike swore that it happens. And it wasn't long before I felt like I had the hang of it, so we started down the river.
The guy was we pretty much.
Now I'm sure most of you have heard that it's called fishing for a reason. I personally haven't had a lot of luck with catching. So my hopes weren't that high when Mike told me that muskie are the fish of 10,000 casts. So we spent a little time drifting down the river, casting toward the shore, because that's where he told me that the muskie were gonna be most likely. They don't like to sit in the strong current. They kind of sit just outside of it and then go in when they want to get something. And to my surprise, within a half hour, I had a fish jump up and take my bait.
They tend to be pretty dark as, there's a fish.
Now I wasn't really ready for it, and I didn't set the hook. And Mike told me that muskie are kind of like cats. You know, with most fish, you don't want to spook them or scare them away, but with muskie, they really like the commotion. So when you cast out and have a big splash, that entices them, and then you want to pull it away as quick as you can, like you would with a cat, pulling away like a little mouse on a string or something. And when you get close to the boat, you want to keep doing it, because you'd be surprised at how many are just lingering right below you, ready to go after it.
Yeah. Oh, keep it in the water. In the water.
Damn, it was the figure eight thing.
Oh man, you're getting close, bro.
So we continued down, and I saw there was this shopping cart kind of halfway in the water. So I thought, okay, I'll cast out to that. I got another bite. I got that one. I have it.
Got him?
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna. We always go head first. Keep the rod off away from the boat.
Okay. He spit it. Ah, no! Damn.
That was good. That was a good one, dude. Told you.
Yeah.
Told you. You hooked. Well, we're almost there.
Damn.
We're almost there, Ben.
Okay, so we've been out here for, what, an hour and a half, maybe a little longer, and I've already gotten 2 blow-ups where they like went at it and jumped out of the water a little bit. And then one of them was super subtle, and I did a little small set on it because I had a tug, and then it turns out I actually had hooked him a little bit. And so we brought it in and then got under the boat and popped off. But for only an hour and a half, that's pretty good.
Exceptional. You have beginner's luck.
So with several bites and me nearly catching one within the first hour and a half, for the first time since I picked up fishing, I actually felt confident that we would catch something by the end of the day. And as we worked our way down the river, Mike decided to increase our odds by throwing in some live bait.
That's the bigger one.
Rock, come on. They were suckers that he catches himself, and he keeps them at his place in these bubbling tanks, so he had this cooler full of them, and he hooked one up and threw one out as extra bait. And I'll be honest, I felt pretty bad for the little guy since I only really use artificial stuff, but sometimes live bait is the way to go.
And with that being a circle hook, you have to wait for a little while. Muskie will not eat any prey species of fish. They will not eat them tail first. It's always head first. He'll bite it, he'll run away with it, then he'll start turning it in his mouth. And then at that point, is usually when they have the circle hook right on the corner of their mouth. So you don't even really have to set the hook. They kind of swim right into the hook, and then bam, it's on.
Anyway, it wasn't long before I had another bite, and we had a muskie on one of our lines.
Oh, keep going, keep going.
Okay, so he's got a fish on.
Yep.
With the sucker.
Get that bad boy off.
Oh, it's not deep here at all.
Okay, now just keep pressure on it. Give it just a downward sweep and reel in. Rod tip up a little bit, a little more. If she's gonna turn, she's gonna go downstream. Hold on to her. Don't let her go. Bring her back. Yep. Nice steady pull. Yep. It's always head first. Bring her out. Oh, that's a good one. Lift her up. Oh. Missed her.
Damn.
Oh, that was close. Oh, I did that last second desperation. That was a good fish too. You're right, dude. We got to touch it with the net this time.
Damn it.
That was your first sucker experience, dude. They fight like a ton of bricks, don't they?
Yeah, especially when it was downstream.
Yeah,
then it was like, oh, there's.
Like, oh, this is good. Nice. No, that was good work. That's solid boat work. We call that. Just by throwing the anchor out and just knowing what to do, you're good to go, man.
You know, even though we still hadn't managed to bring one in, I was still having a lot of fun, and I could tell Rocky was too. And that was the whole point, to get out, get some fresh air, and try something new.
We thought it was a fish, but it's just old beaver. Oh yeah.
And there are times where I feel like, well, why am I filming this? I'd rather just be here enjoying what I'm doing and give it my full attention rather than worrying about camera angles and battery life and card space.
It's okay, and we're not gonna run you over, Rock. There we go. Oh!
But there's that other part of me that thinks, even if only a few people end up watching this, it's important to show myself getting out and trying new things every once in a while.
Oh, shit.
Because it might inspire someone else to do the same. I mean, I assume that's why everyone gravitates toward the whole van life thing in the first place. You know, I find that most everyone I know stays in their little bubbles, and I don't mean that in a COVID way. I mean where they stick to what they know and never really branch out into anything new, especially as they get older. And for some, that works. They know what they like and they stick to it, but for others who find themselves not knowing what to do with their time besides sit and stare at these screens, they need to find the courage to step out and try new things, because you never know what you might end up falling in love with. That's why he calls it the toilet bowl. For Mike, that's musky fishing. And honestly, there's really nothing like meeting someone who has a true passion for something. And when they offer to share it with you, even if it's just for the day, you'd be a fool to pass it up.
Teeth.
Yeah.
Pretty fish. It's a male. He's got a mating scar from this spring. Get him back in the water. There he goes.
Nice.
Live another day.
Sure, some people get lucky and find their passion early on, and it shapes who they are.
Oh!
While others may spend their entire lives searching for it. And yeah, some may never find it. But one thing's for sure, you know, you're never really gonna find it if you don't try.
Maybe that one's ready to go.
no.
We call that a quick release, buddy.
So whether I was gonna catch a fish or not, the trip was still a success in my eyes.
Ooh! Got him! Oh!
I pulled too hard. I got out, tried something new, and I even made a friend in the process.
You're getting pretty good at that, dude.
Everything else was just a bonus. Plus, Rocky had a blast. Maybe.
Oh yeah, he got it. That's what I'm talking about, Rocky.
He's not fighting at all if he's got it.
Oh, he's just got it in his mouth. He's probably trying to turn it right now. Take that sucker out just in case.
We got another one on with the sucker. So hopefully we can bring this one in. This would be the first successful sucker, right?
A lot of ifs there, buddy.
We got one on the sucker and
T-minus about 4 minutes he's been on there. Pretty much waiting for him to turn the bait, because every muskie eats it head first. And the hook's up in the front of the head, so we kind of have to wait for him to turn a little bit. I'm pretty close to, we're pretty close to game time here. Try to get him into the net as quick as possible. So just trade me off. Give it a little set. Now go.
hold on, he's running.
Raise your rod tip. Lift him in, lift him in.
Yeah. He's ready.
Bring it under. Oh, we did it!
Basically smacked you in the face with the rod.
Oh, nice work. Okay, reach down in there with your right hand. Feel underneath there. Feel her gill. See, you got it underneath there?
Yeah.
There'll be like a little pocket in there where you can put your thumb and your pointer finger. Just like that. Yep. That's a fat fish, bro. Very nice.
Sit.
Go ahead and put her in the water. That out of her, pull yours out of her. Yep, and just kind of keep her upright a little bit. Oh yeah. And there she goes. Good job, brother. Nice. We accomplished what we came to do, right?
Yeah, it's not a catch, but a catch.
It's a boat catch.
A boat catch. Yeah. Okay, so we have run out of light, and it is now time to head back to the vehicles. Hey, you get back. Thanks for taking me.
Yeah,
and
absolutely, man.
Hopefully, I want to do it again. I want to hook one myself and bring it in too. You know what I mean? Like I really want that.
We could make it happen. You got a little taste of it.
Well, cool, man.
No problem, you're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Back in the van, hat on all day, but my card's about to fill up and we've got to drive 3 hours back to Indy. Okay.
My kids were like, that's the first thing they asked, like, why does his cat look like it's angry?
Yeah.
I don't know, because he looks like he's always angry.
He is.
Like he's pissed off at the world.
He is. He's kind of a shithead. He's not like a nice cat where everyone's like, can I go pet him? And I'm like, you'll get 3 touches and then he'll bite you. It's on his time, you know?